I have been in tears for the last 2 years trying to meet my daughter, and she has never let me once talk to her or see her.
Mr. Webb, you have been waiting 2 years for this day. You claim the defendant, Mrs. Forrest, left you for dead only to find out once you got out of a coma that she was pregnant and that the baby could be yours or her husband's.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrest, you and your husband are here today desperate to put an end to this drama. You say you have no doubt your daughter's biological father is indeed your husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Webb, what are your intentions today if the DNA determines that you are the biological father?
My intentions are to fight for full custody rights if she is my daughter.
Well, that's my daughter, and you ain't getting her.
Ms. Forrest, how did you get yourself in this triangle?
My husband got in some trouble, and I ended up meeting Mr. Webb through one of my friends. We hit it off, and then I ended up leaving Mr. Forrest for Mr. Webb.
So you began a sexual relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and were you using protection at the time?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Webb, what is your take on this?
It didn't happen like that at first. Yes, we was in love, but towards the end, I was on life support.
No, that's not how it happened.
As soon as I got out of the hospital, I had got a phone call saying that she was pregnant. I heard it from my aunt first, but on my way to Illinois with my dad, she had called me and told me that it was a possibility that Elena was my child.
She told you a possibility.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means she was admitting that she also had slept with other people.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you think the other person was just her husband?
At the time, no, Your Honor.
You thought there were other possible?
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
And why would you think that? Why would you have reason to think that?
Because she was working at the time, and some of her check would be coming up missing every time she would get paid.
No.
And so what did you suspect? Because something was missing out of her check?
She would get off at 10 o'clock. It would take at least 15 minutes to get home. But she would come in at 11 to 11:30.
It took about 45 minutes to get from where I was
So
working.
it was missing time and missing money.
Yes, Your
Where
Honor.
she was MIA.
Yes, Your
Now,
Honor.
All right.
From where she worked at, and I know for a fact it took 45 minutes to get from her work
No,
to
Your Honor.
the house.
That's a
And
lie.
at the time,
No, Your
Because when I
Honor.
moved back,
So, Ms. Forrest, let me just ask you point blank. Were you sleeping with anyone else besides Mr. Webb and your husband?
no, Your Honor.
Not during that time.
That's a lie,
But when
Your
you
Honor.
called Mr. Webb and said, I'm pregnant, you did say, and there's a possibility.
Which I didn't get back to with Mr. Forrest until after Travis had done left, or Mr. Webb has done left.
Your Honor, I have a letter from my mom where I was on life support. When she came to drop off my stuff,
Which we were already
she had
broken
moved
up by
into
then.
a hotel with Mr. Forrest.
Evidence you'd like me to see?
This is a
Jerome, will you
mom's
hand that to
statement.
me, please?
they broke up like 3 days, from my knowledge, so like 3 days before he ever went into a coma.
No, Your Honor, I did not have
We were
any
fighting,
idea that we were
over,
split
and
up.
that was
Having problems.
I had called my dad for a bus ticket to Alabama. 2 hours after I got off the phone with him, I had ended up on life support.
So this is a statement from your mom?
That is a statement from my mom. And he was there the very next morning in a motel with her.
Is that true?
We were already broke up. We've done called it quits. We done
And
called it everything.
me and my wife had
That's
already
Your Honor.
started talking back about getting back together. Well, after they done broke up like 3 days before he ever went to the hospital.
No, Your Honor.
Bottom line is, he's in the bed on life support, and now you have reconciled with your husband.
Yes, Your Honor, but I tried to see him. His mother would not let me see him.
I'm sure there were some feelings because you had gotten back with your husband while he's fighting for his life.
Which I loved Mr. Webb at the time, but we were,
You loved him.
well, I mean,
So when you
My
realized you
feelings
were
that-
pregnant, when exactly did you realize you were pregnant?
the middle of September,
That is a
All
lie,
right.
Your Honor.
because I didn't know at the time I was pregnant.
So, Mr. Webb, how did you find out she was pregnant?
She had called me the day that I got out of the hospital. I was on my way to Illinois with my dad. I got a phone call. We had a discussion. She said that I may be the father, but then again, I may not be because she was back with Mr. Forrest.
I was there with her at the doctor's office, so it was the middle of September when she found out.
It was in August whenever she found out that she was
No.
pregnant.
No, it was not.
So there's
That's
a
not true.
month discrepancy. You say September, you say August.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when you got the news, did you immediately think you're the father?
Well, she had told me ahead of time that I may not be the father, but there was a chance that I was the father.
So now, what makes you stand in court today, Miss Forrest, and say that your husband is definitely the father?
I have counted back the times from when she was born, 9 months back, and it takes it to the week that I was only sleeping with him. Me and Mr. Webb were already over with.
All right, let me grab my calendar. See this.
My daughter was born on May 9th of 2013.
Okay.
And then you take it back 9 months later, that takes it to the week of August 26th through August 31st.
August 26th through August 31st, you were sleeping with your...
Just my husband.
The thing about it, Your Honor, is the day that before I went on to life support, we did have sex.
Well, that was the question I was about to ask. What day did you go into the
I
hospital?
went into the hospital on August 26, 2012.
So you saying August 25th, you all were intimate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Ms.
Yes,
Ford?
Your Honor.
Without protection?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
Okay. So that's intimate with Mr. Webb. Now you here to tell me you know for sure that your child is fathered by Mr. Forrest and you got this close proximity?
She looks, yes, Your Honor, she looks just like my husband. She takes after him.
But you do realize this difference in time, this is all a part of the same window of conception. You do understand that, right, Ms. Forrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
He wasn't there for the birth. Why wasn't he there for her?
The reason I have not been there, Your Honor, I had got an email on Facebook from my aunt that Miss Forrest had Elena.
So you got news that the baby was born. You didn't hear from Miss Forrest herself.
No, Your
No,
Honor, not at birth.
You heard through your family.
Yes, Your Honor.
I messaged his mother on Facebook and told her what hospital I was going to be at, where I was going to be, when I was going to the hospital and everything. Him or his family, nobody showed
Nobody
up.
showed
So
up.
question, you messaged him
I messaged his
on
mother.
Facebook, his family, to let them know. But why do that if you know for certain that Mr. Forrest, your husband, is the child's father?
Just in case that he did come back being the father, he could say that
He wasn't there for the birth.
he wasn't there. I
So
had
the
difficult
truth
labor.
is, even you had doubt.
At first in my pregnancy, yes, Your Honor. But he
Who's on
wasn't
the birth certificate?
my
I
husband.
am.
Is.
Forrest.
You are. Well, yes, and you would be presumed to be the father anyway. A child born to a marriage, into a marriage, the husband is presumed to be the father.
I've took care of her since the day she was born. Well, a month after she was born. He ain't took care of her.
Mr. Webb, were you given an opportunity to see
No, Your Honor.
baby Elena after she was born?
I have not met Elena. We have set up dates plenty of
They have
times.
all been under his terms where he
I
wanted to
have
go. I
gone
have
from Illinois whenever she told me that I could meet Elena. I spent the last $80 I had to put in gas.
So-
She had backed out, changed her phone number, and blocked me on Facebook. 3 weeks later,
And that's like
I
every
flew
number
back
I
to
get from you,
Tennessee
it's always
and tried to
changed.
contact her to meet Elena, and she would not contact me back. That is why
And
we
so,
are here today.
Elena is 2 years old,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you have still not
No, Your Honor.
held this baby?
No, Your Honor.
Never one time.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
I'm afraid that if he does get to see my daughter, that he can run off with her, and
Because he's
there's
not
nothing I
threatening
can
her.
do to get
So
her
you
back.
admit, Miss Forrest, that you've been blocking Mr. Webb from seeing
Yes.
Elena.
Yes, Your Honor.
After you initially informed his family that where she's going to be born.
He wasn't there. I had a difficulty of labor. I had a seizure, and I had to go.
But
to
I'm saying if you informed his family because you believed there was a possibility he could be the father,
proved-
why wouldn't you give him an opportunity to see the baby?
He proved he didn't care about
If he
not
wants it.
When she told him, he told her he did not care.
No, I have
So
never
therefore,
said that, Your Honor.
he ain't there for
I have
2 years.
been in tears for the last 2 years trying to meet my daughter, and she has never let me once
When I
talk to
called-
her or see her.
When I talked to
have
him and
had
told him I was
to create
pregnant.
a fake Facebook account just to see pictures of Elena.
I can't get past why you would not just allow him to see her if you thought it was a possibility that he could be her
They have
dad
all been
for
under
2 years.
He's never wanted to meet any. He wants me to come 45 minutes from where I live to his mother's house. I'm not comfortable going alone with my daughter to his.
For 45 minutes, you're not comfortable going with you to see.
Not alone, and he's always wanted me to come to his mother's house.
No, Your Honor, I have planned to meet her in Dyersburg, Tennessee, which is a big town, just so I can meet Elena out in public.
And what's wrong with that?
I'm afraid that he's gonna end up taking my daughter, and there's nothing I can do to get her
He's
back.
done threatened to take our
Miss
child.
Forrest, are you afraid he's gonna take your daughter, or are you afraid he's her biological
I'm
father?
afraid that he's gonna take my daughter.
He's done threatened to take our child.
I have a boy. He called me about 2 weekends ago. I was on my way to Arkansas, and he told me that if I don't let him see her, he's gonna take her to court or take me to court, and he's gonna take her away from me. There's no way that he is getting my daughter. I have cared for her for 2 years. He hasn't.
I will
He
fight
wanted to
for
see her, but he
full
hasn't
custody.
wanted to
This
do nothing
DNA
under-
test proves that I am Elena's father. I will fight for my
This is
full
my
custody
child,
rights.
and I will fight you for custody.
There's no way he is getting my daughter.
No, this is our child, not yours, and I will fight you for full custody.
There's no way that he's getting full custody of my child.
I will fight.
No.
So, Mr. Forrest, you're convinced you're
Well, whether
Elena's
I am or he is.
Oh, wait. Are you? No. I'm saying, are you convinced you're her biological father?
There's a possibility, yes, but I don't know for 100%.
You're raising her as,
My own.
so she thinks you're her daddy. She
Correct.
calls him
calls
daddy.
you daddy.
Calls me daddy.
She doesn't have a choice, Your Honor, because Miss Forrest would not let me
He-
meet my daughter.
He doesn't want to meet under my terms.
I sit in the same seat countless times and I see men that say, well, I don't know if it's my child, Your Honor, so I'm not showing up at a hospital. I'm not coming by to see this baby. I don't even want to hold the baby. I don't even want to buy the baby a bottle because I don't know if it's mine. And quite frankly, I have to say, there a part of me has to honor what they're thinking and their opinion and the way they feel because they don't have certainty. In this case, I see a man that wanted to do just the opposite. I know it's just a possibility, but I still want to see her, know her, until I can figure out if she's mine, because I don't want to miss the time, and ultimately, I don't want her
And
to
I'm
miss
afraid
out.
I'm going to lose my husband and my family over this.
See, we bond together. Did you do that?
Well, how can he do that if she won't let her see her?
We done tried. He said he did not care.
But I'm saying, how can he bond with her like that when you admit that your wife will not allow him to see her?
I mean, look at it. Look at me and my daughter. She is happy. She looks just like me. She takes after me and everything.
Mr. Webb, I see you are in a lot of pain. It hurts you to see her.
Yes, Your Honor.
And why does it hurt you? What do you feel? You just feel like you've missed out on 2 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
And until the DNA comes back showing that he is the father, he will not see her. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel.
So is this Miss Forrest's idea or yours?
It's mine.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I think it's time we go to the results. It's time. Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Webb v. Forrest, when it comes to 2-year-old Elena Forrest, as to whether her biological father is Mr. Webb or Mr. Forrest, it has been determined by this court that her biological father is Mr. Webb. Be clear, you did not just cheat him, you cheated her. Peter, you knew it could be a possibility.
And I'm afraid I'm going to lose my husband and my family over this.
Well, this is my point. You're thinking about yourself.
That's all he thought about when we were together.
You're thinking about yourself.
He won't see my daughter.
I think you need to step outside of yourself and your own selfishness and allow him to see his daughter in my chambers for the first time, so that maybe for the